Hello guys, welcome back to your favorite agricultural and agribusiness YouTube channel. On today's episode, I've got a very important topic to discuss with you all. But if you are watching for the first time, this channel is dedicated to promote sustainable and profitable agriculture. My name is Olusola, and if this kind of content is what you've been looking for, kindly click on subscribe button to have access to more of my videos. Thank you so much. So on today's episode, I want to talk about the factors you must consider before building animal pen or before establishing an animal farm. These are the factors you have to put in place. You don't just wake up one day, select a land and just start building animal farm, especially if you want to erect animal pen. There are factors that you have to consider before doing this, or less if you don't consider this factor, it's going to be having a very negative impact on the well-being and the productivity of your farm animal. So the number one factor you have to put at the back of your mind, the number one factor you have to consider before setting up an animal farm, I'm talking about animal farm now, not a particular animal pen or animal house, a animal farm. The number one factor you have to put into consideration is the location. If you don't want trouble with your neighbor, if you don't want trouble about theft, if you don't want trouble about getting access to the place, location is the number one thing you have to put in place. And siting an animal farm, you have to have it at the back of your mind that it must not be in the vicinity of a residential area, or less you will be having issues with your neighbor. And if you find yourself in an environment where we have a whole lot of learned people, you won't be finding it very easy. So, and again, you can have government come at you. So you have to look at a place, site it away from residential area. This is for the health benefit of people living in the environment, because all those odor, all those smell, all those contamination has to be away from residential people. And also you have to consider the accessibility. It must be it must be a place where you have easy access to. You cannot just go and site up an animal farm in a very isolated place. Despite not being in a residential area, it must not be isolated, unless you just get to the farm one day and all your animals are gone. So it has to be accessible, close to the road, and somewhere where you have easy access. The number two factor I'll be talking about is the factor you have to consider in constructing your animal pen. Okay, you've already occupied the land and you want to build maybe a poultry house, a goat pen, a piggery pen, any kind of animal shelter. So you don't just jump on the land and you say, okay, bricklayer, do it this way, do it this way, do it this way. No, except you just want to play about with your money. So the number one factor you have to put into it is that any kind of animal house you want to build must be lying in the direction of east to west. It must be lying on the east to west axis of the compass. Now, the reason for this is that we all know that sun rise in the west and set in the east, or vice versa, or something like that. So when you build your house lying on the east-west axis, you will be avoiding too much of sun incidence inside your farm, inside your animal pen. And by this, you'll be able to avoid heat stress. Now, if you build your house anyhow, and it is facing the sun, when the sun is rising, is coming into the animal house. When it's setting, it's coming into the animal house. What you will end up doing to your animal is that you are subjecting them to heat stress. And this will do a whole lot of danger to them. It will do a whole lot of danger to their feed conversion rate. It will do a whole lot of danger to their production and to their health. So at the end of the day, you will not be seeing the required result. The number three factor you have to put into consideration before building animal pen is the topography of the land. The topography of the land. If you want to set up an animal farm, don't buy a lowland. Never buy a lowland. Never buy a land that is submerged during the rainy season. A land that is marshy in the rainy season. This is a very, very red flag for you. Don't try it, because if you end up building your poultry pen or establishing an animal farm, you do it in the dry season. When the rains come and everywhere is submerged, there is high possibility that the erosion or the water will be flushing away your animal. And even if not flushing away your animal, it will be entering the animal house, and this will lead to a whole lot of animal disease like coccidiosis in poultry and a whole lot of others. So siting your animal farm in a submerged environment predisposes your animal to a whole lot of diseases. If you are having a cattle ranch and you are doing it in a marshy environment, you are predisposing those animals to trypanosomiasis and a whole lot of diseases. So this is something you must not do. Don't make that mistake. And lastly but not the least, you have to consider the elevation of the land. You have to consider the elevation and the slope. Now, if the land is gently slopey, that one is understandable and you can actually make use of it. But you must not build your animal pen across the slope. Build it along the along the slope. So this is a way whereby you can avoid the moving or the erosion entering into the animal house. So that is that about today's topic, and I hope you got so much value from this video. If you actually got value from this video, kindly give it a like, share with your friends, and if you have any other question, kindly drop it in the comment section, then we take it from there. Thank you for your time and thank you for your attention. See you on my next video.